In this video, I'm going to show you how you can store files using iCloud Drive, create files using the Pages, Numbers, or Keynote applications, and then also share files using the Add People feature that is built into iCloud.com. Just as a reminder and to recap, iCloud is the umbrella service that we're working with. iCloud Drive is the file storage application that is embedded within iCloud and within iCloud.com. iCloud Drive is what we'll use to store existing files, while the applications will be what we use to create new files. So you can think of iCloud Drive as very comparable to Dropbox, which you can use for cloud storage, while Pages, Numbers, and Keynote kind of make iCloud.com similar to Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive, which are not only file storage applications, but also free online software through which you can create documents. iCloud Drive, upload files for storage, sharing, and synced access. Pages, Numbers, and Keynote for iCloud are the online cloud-based versions of Apple software programs. So anything you can create in Pages, Numbers, or Keynote will automatically be saved in iCloud Drive, which will allow you to access them anywhere. No matter what you do when you upload a file to iCloud Drive, or if you create a file in Pages, Numbers, or Keynote, you can download those files back to your personal device, like your computer or your flash drive. And for all of those files, you can also share them with other people directly through iCloud. This would be a much easier step than, for example, downloading a file, attaching it to an email, and then sending it to another person. Kind of saves you a few additional steps, like downloading, opening up your email provider, creating a new email, finding and attaching a file for your device. So in this video, we're going to do the following. We'll talk about your file storage methods, we'll go over your file creation options, and then we'll demonstrate how you can share a file with somebody else. So on the topic of file storage, and without getting into too much of a technical terminology, we'll just quickly go over the difference between local and cloud storage. So a great example of cloud storage is web-based email. If you have a Gmail account, a Yahoo account, an Outlook account, etc., you can log on to any computer anywhere in the world and access the same email. You do have to have internet access to make that possible, but no matter where you are, it is available to you if you know the account login information. We'll compare this to local storage, which is storage specific to a single and not internet connected device. I always use the example of flash drives when we talk about local storage. If I had, say, a copy of a resume saved to my flash drive, I would have portable backup, but my flash drive isn't connected to the internet, and that resume is only accessible to me as long as I have that flash drive in my possession. So iCloud and iCloud.com are entirely web-based, and all of the services that it offers, like your contacts, your notes, and so forth, are also entirely cloud-based, and more specifically, the cloud-based file storage takes place in this application called iCloud Drive, which I've just opened up on my screen. So once you've clicked on the iCloud Drive icon, and just to get back to that, I'll show you how you can go from iCloud.com in your main landing page. We click on the iCloud Drive application. Just to show you the layout again from the last video, in the top left corner of our screen, we can see the current application that is currently open. If we want to change that app, we just need to click there where our drop-down menu is, and you can toggle back and forth between contacts and all the other apps that are accessible to us on iCloud.com. On the far right of the screen, this is blurred for you since I didn't want to provide all of the account detail information for my particular iCloud.com account. But if you click here on your name in the upper right corner, you can access your account information, get to our account settings, and then sign out. So if you are using a shared device or a public computer, if you're in the library's computer lab, just make sure that you sign out before you end your session with iCloud.com. Here of our screen up at the top is where we're going to focus on iCloud Drive for this video. All the way on the left, we have a folder icon. This is where we can create new folders to organize our iCloud Drive files. Especially if you are uploading a lot of files, creating folders and moving similar files into a folder under one grouped name is an excellent way to find exactly what you're looking for and find it immediately. So if we go ahead and click on this new folder icon, you can see we get a new folder. It's untitled. The name is highlighted and ready for us to type over and rename. I'm going to call this folder Resume. I always use resumes as my example in programs. It's probably something a lot of us have experience in creating, storing, attaching to emails, and sending to people. So it's always my go-to example. And if you hit the Enter key on your keyboard, there you go. So now we have a resume file folder. It is ready for us to drag and drop files into. Once you've created a folder, you can go ahead, I'm going to take this example PDF, you can drag and drop your files into that folder. You can see it's highlighted once you hover your file icon right over that folder. And then once we're done dragging it, we can let go of our mouse, drop it in. And then if you need to see the files that are within a folder, double click on that folder. Here's the folder name, I'm in Resume. The file that I just dragged in is now located in the display here. You can also change your sorting style. I have mine sorted by name, but underneath your account information on the right side of your screen, you can change your sorting features by date. So if you remember how you uploaded files based on the date that you did something, you can sort them by file size if you're looking to pinpoint larger file sizes immediately, possibly for downloading those and getting them off of iCloud to maintain your storage space. I go by name only because it's easier for me. I tend to name my files based on what the contents are. So I use really evocative and instantly recognizable names for my file names. So keep that as names. If you want to see the file path for your folders, down here in the bottom left of our screen, this is the folder that we currently have open. And this is the originating folder for that file. So here's our file directory. We're in the resume folder. The resume folder is with an iCloud Drive. If I wanted to get back to iCloud Drive, I could click here at the bottom left of the screen, or I could click here in the top left where it says iCloud Drive, and I would go back one folder. So I can click there. I'm back in iCloud Drive. And that is creating a new folder and dragging and dropping a file into that folder so that you can see what's inside of it. You can also upload a file directly to a folder. So if you have a folder open, for again, my resume folder, if I had another file on my computer or on a flash drive that I wanted to add to this subfolder of iCloud Drive, I could click on my upload button while the resume folder is open, and any files that I then uploaded would go directly into resume rather than to iCloud Drive in general, and then I would have to sort them. So that's just one little trick. I'll also show you again what the upload folder looks like in just a moment. So up next, we have that upload button. When we upload a file to any cloud-based storage service, we're just creating a copy of a file that is saved locally to our computer or to our flash drive, and we move that copy to our cloud storage. The original still exists on that local storage device, so if I upload a file here, it's still going to be on my computer, it'll still be on my flash drive. You're probably most familiar with uploading documents when you use your email. Every time we attach a file to email, we upload it from local storage to a cloud-based service, and that would be our email. If we click on the upload button, we get prompted with a dialog box from our device asking us to locate and select the file that we would like to upload. In this example, I have test files on my desktop. I'm going to open up my desktop, get my cloud storage example files, and then here's my basics of iCloud folder. I'm going to say, let's do this example image for my presentation, and click open. It's going to upload. You can see it uploading over here. And this image file is now available in iCloud Drive. Anywhere that I access iCloud and iCloud.com, I can also access that file. So you can upload whatever files you wish to your iCloud Drive. Just make sure that you're mindful, again, of your storage capacity, which you can see down here at the bottom of the screen. And then this file as well, I could move and drag and drop into another subfolder, or I could leave it in the main iCloud Drive folder. Now, also on top of the screen, it's grayed out right now, is my download button. It's because I don't currently have a file selected that I would like to download. So downloading is the opposite process of uploading, where we would copy a file from the internet, from our cloud storage, and save it to a local storage device. Again, we're just making a copy. The cloud-based version will remain exactly where it currently is. And for me to do that, I would just select a file, take my image file again, and then I would click here on my download button, and the file that I've selected is now downloaded to my computer. If you're using Google Chrome, it'll show up here at the bottom of your web browser, and I can click on that image and then open it. And that's it. That's downloading back from iCloud, and we'll move on to the next portion of our video after this. This is the end of the file storage portion. In the next sections, we'll go over the other buttons at the top of our screen so you can see how we share files with other people. We can also create files directly in iCloud, and once created in iCloud, they're also automatically stored in iCloud Drive for later access or for sharing. To do that, to create files, we would need to open the iCloud version of each software program that we plan to use. So if we click on our Drive icon in the top left corner of the screen and select one of these other web applications, Pages, Numbers, or Keynote, we would open their version in iCloud. So I'm going to use Pages to create a word processing document for this example video. We're on our iCloud Pages landing page. It shows all of the Pages documents that are currently stored in iCloud or recently accessed in iCloud. We can open one of these files, like this project proposal, and edit it. We can also upload a file to Pages directly and edit that file as well. So we could click here on Upload while Pages is open, upload a Pages file from my computer or my flash drive, and then we can edit that or edit one of the files that we've created using Pages for iCloud. We're going to save that for our exercise video, which is all about working with exercise files. But for now, we're just going to explore what the Pages application looks like. This left side of the screen has recent files. If we click on Browse, we can browse all of the files for iCloud Pages. If we click Shared, we can see any files that we've shared. And then we can go through our recently deleted files. In the Browse section, you can see it's grayed out here in Recents, but in the Browse section, we can also create folders just as we did in iCloud Drive to organize our Pages files. So if I click here on New Folder, I can say Example Docs Presentation. I spelled it correctly. And then we can drag and drop the files that are in Pages for iCloud and put them in this subfolder. You can see we've got iCloud Drive is our main folder here. We're in the Pages application, and then this example docs for presentation will then be within that Pages subfolder for iCloud. So you can always take a look at your breadcrumbs down at the bottom of the screen. And then if we needed to get back to iCloud Drive, we could also click up here at the top and go back to the main iCloud Drive page. At the top of the screen, we have our Upload button. So if we have a file from local storage that we want to upload to Pages, we can do that here as well. The files still get saved in iCloud Drive overall. It's embedded in the Pages section. And then if we go back here to this plus sign icon, you can see the little pop-up menus telling us this is to create a new Pages document strictly within iCloud.com. So if we click on that button, we would go to Pages for iCloud. It's going to take just a few moments to load due to internet connectivity. And then once we're here in Pages for iCloud, we can view the template gallery. If we wanted to scroll through this template gallery here and see the types of files that we can create in Pages, we can also click on one of the headings up here at the top of the screen to go directly to that template gallery. So again, I always use resumes. So if I click here on the resume category title, it takes me to the resume template gallery for Pages, and I can double click on one of these templates to open it and then start editing that with my own information. What I'm going to do is go back up to all, and I want to create a basic blank document from scratch so you can see what a completely fresh new Pages document looks like. So if you double click here, we're going to open up a blank document and give that just a moment to load as well. So once we have our blank document open on the screen, I do want you to keep a couple of things in mind. We're not going to go too much into the actual editing of the document in this video. We're going to save that for our exercise video. But I do want you to see that as I'm typing, at the top of the screen next to the document title, there is always a message saying that it's saving as you're typing. So saving as I am typing. Please take a look at the title, not at what I'm writing. And it'll say saving, because as long as you're actively making changes in a document on Pages for iCloud, and this applies to Numbers and to Keynote as well, it is automatically saving itself in Pages for iCloud and therefore within iCloud Drive and iCloud.com. So you don't have to worry about saving when you make major changes to a document the way that you would if you were using software application on your computer, software application that's not web-based. Cloud storage and cloud file creation is all saving automatically and syncing across any other logins that you have. So you can change up at the top of the screen the name of your document just by clicking on its title. I'll click here on blank. You can see it's ready for me to type over because it's highlighted. I'm just going to call this test document and just hit enter on my keyboard, and you can see it's got a brand new title. And again, that title has completely auto-saved for you. So if we go back to iCloud Pages on this tab in my browser, here's my test document, literally just created, literally just renamed, and it's already here, and it's waiting for me to either reopen, to organize by dragging and dropping into a subfolder, or I can get back to it up here in my tab. If I close out this tab and double click again, test document will open in that browser tab, and it's ready for me to continue to edit. So my document is now saved in the iCloud Pages section, and I can open it and edit it as long as it's saved there. So I'm going to close that out. If we go back to iCloud Drive here, you can see these are all of the Pages files, example pictures. Here's my resume folder. If I go here to Pages, here's test document. If I click here on iCloud Drive in the top left corner, and I go to Pages, here's test document. One last thing to show you, you can delete a document at any time just by selecting it and then clicking on the trash icon at the top of the screen. And I'll show you two ways to do that now. So right now we're within iCloud Drive. I'm here in the Pages storage folder. If I wanted to delete test document from iCloud Drive, I'd click, I'd delete, and then in the lower right corner of my screen, you can see it now says recently deleted 1. I can click on recently deleted to see my trash. And then if I wanted to either recover or completely delete this file, I'd click on it. You can see now I can recover, I can delete. If I had more files, I could recover all of them, delete all of them. In this case, because I only have the one file, I'm just going to go ahead and select this. I do want to recover it so I can show you how you would also delete a file from within the Pages application. So let me go ahead and click recover. So no longer in my trash, it says no items. I'm going to go back to iCloud Drive. You can see my test document is now here in the main iCloud Drive folder. I'm just going to drag and drop this back into Pages. Give that a second to transfer over. So I've clicked on the Pages storage folder. Test document is back here. If we want to see how you can delete a file, if you're in the Pages application and you don't have any plans to go through the iCloud Drive process I just showed you, if you click here on Pages, here's our friend test document again. You can click on this, click on the trash icon up at the top of the screen, hit delete, and here's how it looks from the Pages application for recently deleted. Here's test document again. Got 29 more days before it completely deletes itself automatically. Now I'm just not even going to give it the opportunity to do that. I'm just going to say delete. And there it is. And if I go back to iCloud Drive, Pages, it's no longer part of the Pages subfolder. It's completely deleted. So, and you can even see recently deleted is now zeroed out. There's no number after it, so I know I no longer have a deleted file. And that's how you can delete from iCloud Drive or from within one of the software applications. If you plan to share a file that you've created, or if you plan to share a file that you've uploaded to iCloud Drive from a local storage device, you can share directly through iCloud Drive, this main screen here, for any of the files that you've uploaded. You can also share directly from the Pages, Numbers, or Keynote software applications. I'm going to show you as an example one of the numbers spreadsheets that we'd like to share. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Numbers application. You can see I've got my recent files here. To get started with sharing a file, the first thing you want to do is select the file in question, and that applies to a photo, a PDF, a document that you've created. You want to select that file. You're going to click on it to highlight it, and you'll see that you have in the lower right corner a menu button that you can click on to get your file options. So if I click on that menu, there's a button down here at the end of that link, at the end of that list. It says Collaborate with Others. And you can click on this to see what your file sharing options are. When you give someone access to a file, always be cautious about the permissions that you can provide to them. You can set sharing permissions so that someone can only view your file, or you can provide them with permission to make changes. The latter means that they can actually make edits to the file that you're sending them. No matter what happens, whether you're giving someone view-only permissions or editing permissions, the person that you send the file to does need to sign in with an Apple ID and password. So this method is good if you're collaborating with someone who has an Apple ID, is able to access iCloud.com or able to access iCloud from another device. But you also want to make sure it's a person with whom you are actively collaborating. So once your file is selected, you can click here on Collaborate with Others. And when you do that, you'll see a dialog box pop up in the middle of your screen, inviting you to add people to that file. So you can see the options for how you send someone a file, and then down here where it says Share Options, how they can interact with that file. So if you have contacts loaded into the Contacts app on iCloud.com, as you start to type in someone's name, you can see I'm typing in my own name. Obviously, I'm only sending this to myself, but as I start to type in my own name, my contact information populates in this form. I can click here to add my email, but if there was somebody else that were in your Contacts app, someone named Jane Smith, for example, as you start to type in Jane Smith, her contact information would populate just as mine did. So in this case, we're adding me. Then we're going to click here on the arrow for Share Options to decide how the recipient can interact with the file. So who can access? You can send a link to someone so that anyone with that link is able to access the file, or you can decide that only people you've specifically invited can access the file with that link. If anyone has the link, be mindful that those people who have the link want to share that link with will then be able to access the file, so it can go on and on. You can send it to one person who can send it to 3 people, who can send it to 6 people, and so on and so forth. If you want to lock down permissions, then you can ensure that only people you specifically invite, which is the option I'm going to pick right now, you can lock it down so that it's only for those people that have been invited. And then here you have your permissions drop-down menu. You can decide whether you want the people who get the link to this file can make changes, or if they can only view the file. In this case, I just want to send it to someone for review. So I'm going to say view only, but you can give them editing permissions. And then once you've clicked this share button, a link will pop up on your screen, and you can now copy this link. So if I copy the link, that little pop-up will disappear. I can then send that link to someone through text or through email, and only the people that I have invited will be able to access that link with their Apple ID and password. So that is how you can share and set permissions from your recents. I can also do this from within a file while it's open. So as an example, you can see both of these files have been shared. You can tell what's been shared at the bottom of the file icon and all the information shared by me, shared by me. I can see what's been shared from Numbers or Pages or Keynote on this left menu. So you can see both of my example spreadsheets have been shared with someone. If I wanted to share a file from that file itself, say in Pages, and open up my project proposal. So once my file is open, there is a button up at the top of the menu of options. It's my Add People button. That's your collaboration, your sharing button, however you want to refer to it. If you click on this little icon, I'm going to get that Add People dialog box again. So again, I can add the recipient. I'm going to make this myself. I'm going to say, again, only people that I invite to take a look at this file. This time I'll say you can make changes, and then if I click share, I've now shared this document with someone else via email. I'm going to copy the link. Now you can see this Add People button up at the top will tell you what collaboration details you've just given permission to. So if I click on that, it's no longer adding people, it's who I've added. So it'll tell me who the owner is, the person that I've invited. I can add more people if I wanted to, and then I can decide the share options for those people. I also like to point out that if you've already invited someone to collaborate on a document, you can decide to stop sharing access with them. So if you click on your invited person's menu, click here. So here's the email address. Here are the permissions. I can change those from here. I can also say I'd like to remove access for this person. So I can go ahead and remove access. It'll ask me if I want to confirm who I'm removing. I'm going to cancel that. If you have multiple people that you've sent this document to and you want to revoke everyone's access, you can click here on Stop Sharing. That'll apply that remove access to everyone. I'm going to do that. I can say Stop Sharing this document, and then if I click OK, my collaboration button goes to Add People, and here's where I can go ahead and start typing in their information again. So that's how you would do that from while your file is open in Pages or Numbers or Keynote. I'll show you how you can revoke access from a shared folder here in Numbers. So if I click here on my collaboration details, you can see here's my spreadsheet example, here's my owner, this is who I've invited. Again, I can click on my menu. I can say I'd like to remove access, or I can change the access that they have. I can add people from this collaboration button. I'm going to say let's remove access for this person. Okay. And now it's just back to the owner, and I can go ahead and add people again. You can see it also removes that file from my shared folder here in Numbers. If I wanted to share from iCloud Drive, go back here to iCloud Drive in the top left corner. And say I wanted to share this file with someone. I'd click on it, and then here's that Add People button up at the top of my iCloud Drive screen. I can click. Here's my Add People dialog box again. We'll go ahead. I'm getting a lot of files I'm sharing with myself. This time I'll say, oh, anyone with the link. And then you can see that email address has changed. It's no longer active. And if I copied that link and posted it to a website or to social media, anybody with the link could make changes to this photo, could only view the photo, etc. So I'm just going to click cancel on that. But if I did want to add someone via email, that's how I do this from iCloud Drive. And that's how you share files. So the next video in this series, we're going to go through just a couple of tips and tricks to be mindful of when you're using iCloud.com. And then finally, the test exercises for iCloud will walk you through all of the file storage, creation, and sharing examples one more time so you can follow along at home.